Okay, so there we go. This is now being preserved on the recording. Okay, the benefits of Cdmp certification. I went into that with Simon, that it makes you more employable. It's worldwide. It's a worldwide recognized certification, and it gives employers a bit more security, gives them more confidence to know that that you understand your work. Not necessarily that you can do things, but you understand what is required of you, and you can actually you can find out the how part yourself. Got an understanding of how data management fits together. Yeah, and that person who had become a consultant, and it just opened the door for a fantastic job. Okay, so the exams are all based on the Dmp version 2. I don't have mine with me in Cape Town, or else I could show you. But it's as big as, you know, those old family Bibles that sat in the rooms in those old houses that you felt like you could knock someone out with. It's as big as that and as fat as that. It was published in 2017. The Dmp 1 was published in 2010, and things move really quickly in these kind of spaces, so they need revision quite regularly. So already there changes from 2017, but it's a what to do book. It tells you what is required from you, as in the inputs and the deliverables and the activities and the roles and responsibilities of the different data management knowledge areas, but it doesn't really tell you how to do stuff. And if it told us how to do things and it mentioned tools, it would become dated very quickly. So that's an advantage and also a disadvantage, because the how to do stuff we've got to find out from other areas. But if we know that for data governance we have to produce a data strategy, you can find out how to do that. If you have to produce a business glossary, you can find out how to do that, but you know that's what you have to do. So that's what the book is like. It's based on the DAMA wheel, which are all the different knowledge areas of data management. So data management is this whole thing. Data governance is sitting in the middle there, because data governance has control and oversight of everything that happens within data management. Data governance is there to ensure that data is managed properly. So there's a lot of data governance activities and deliverables, as well as having control and oversight of what all of these other knowledge areas do and produce. So if you do the data governance speciality exam, you have to study the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and the last 3 chapters, as well as within each chapter, there's data governance's responsibility. It's an open book exam. All of the exams are open book. And because they are mostly based on the Dmp version 2, you have to have your own copy. You can have a PDF, which is available at technicspub.com for $59. If you work for one of a big organization like the banks all have an enterprise version. So you could get your own copy of the enterprise version, which you're allowed to download onto your work laptop. You can get a hard copy at Loot or Take-A-Lot, or for international people at Amazon. It's about 1,500. It varies. Loot seems to be cheaper than Take-A-Lot most of the time, so you just have to check. It usually takes about 10 days to arrive. What else can I tell you about that? Yeah, we're working on not a version, not a version 3, just an upgrade of version 2. So there should be an upgrade available at some point, but the work has just started. And hopefully what they will do is give everybody an addendum so that things can be just added to our books. Okay, so you need your own copy. And because the exam is open book, you're allowed your book, you're allowed any books. So you could even have your version 1 and your data dictionary if you have those copies. You're allowed any notes. So my summaries would work. You're allowed rough paper to scribble on, and you're allowed that PDF version of your DMBOK, but on another device. You're not allowed to have a second screen attached to your laptop, and you're not allowed to navigate away from the exam site. So once you're running the exam, there's an online proctoring device, a software that it's a Google Chrome extension, and it takes over your camera and your microphone. So it has to see your face at all times, and it makes sure that there are no strange noises happening in your room. So that's why you can't navigate away. It has to see your face at all times. So if you've got your enterprise version on your company laptop, you'd have to have another laptop to do the exam on. And also we've had issues with company laptops not being allowed to put that Chrome extension in for Honorlock. So you will just everybody has different challenges, and we'll just have to make sure we can work around your challenges. Nothing's insurmountable, but you can't do the exam on a tablet. It has to be a computer, because it needs the camera and the microphone looking at you all the time. You could have your DMBOK PDF on the laptop, and what's really nice about that is in the exams they don't paraphrase anything. So if they're giving you an example, like they'll ask you about, say, maybe a principle of GDPR. They phrase it exactly the same as it is in the book, or a definition. The definition or goal will be written exactly as it is in the DMBOK. So it's very easy for you to use the search function, PDF search function, to find things. And I've done that. With my data governance exam, I used the PDF, and it worked very well. Found things, no problem. Okay, so these are the different levels of Cdmp certification. It's not a progression. It all depends on the percentage that you get for the exam. So we would obviously aim at master, and then if you miss master, you're probably going to get 70%. But this Cdmp associate in the past used to be a completely separate certification. It was an entry level, and it was either for very new people to encourage them, or else it was for non-data people to show that they had a good understanding of the DAMA way of data literacy. It was more like a data literacy type exam, but DAMA literate. They've just kept it, but it's not an entry level. It's if you get 60% to 69% in the data management fundamentals exam, you get awarded a Cdmp associate. It lasts for 3 years, but after that you have to rewrite the exam and hopefully get 70%. You cannot renew an associate. 70 to 79% and 80+% give you the actual professional Cdmp. So this is for data management professionals. We're aiming for this, that you get the 70%, over 70%. You write another 2 exams, 2 specialist exams, to give us the full certification. This is a kind of a light certification. This industry experience here is a guideline, 2 years to 10 years. It's just they expect you to have 2 years of experience to be able to write it, because some of the questions require you to actually apply your knowledge. And the master, if you get 80% plus in all your 3 exams, you're in line for a master, but they also want to check that you have over 10 years of experience. They don't want to award a master to anybody that doesn't have 10 years of experience. So there's a place where you can upload your CV so that they check how long you've been working in data. The fellow is an honorary type of Cdmp for people who have had significant contribution to data management, such as John Zachman. He's a fellow. And Christopher Bradley is a fellow. People that have done a lot of work in the data management space for DAMA, to promote DAMA. They give you DAMA Central membership. We're yet to actually work out the benefits of central membership, but this is what it gives you. I think DAMA Central membership, you get some discounts with international courses and conferences, but they still work out jolly expensive because it's all in dollars. So for each exam, you pay $311. Some of that gives you the DAMA Central membership, some of it's included. And the Central membership will last you 3 years for each exam, I believe. Things are a little bit fuzzy on what happens after the 3 years, but I'm sure they're going to give us clarity at some point. In the past, after 3 years, you just needed to renew your certification, which meant paying a fee, which would be your central membership fee, and you have to collect 30 hours of professional development over 3 years, which is not hard. Remember I told you we've got at least 6 hours of webinars every month that happen in every month here, the DAMA ones. I think there are about 5 or 6 DAMA webinars, and then there are 4 African Data Management Community webinars. So in 1 month, you can collect about 9 hours if you attend them all. So 30 hours over 3 years is not a lot. Just attending webinars or helping with any kind of data management things, or speaking at webinars. We welcome people to come and speak at our webinars. It's a good practice if anyone's going to be a thought leader. You know, wanting to go and present at an international conference. Here's a safe space to practice our webinars. So that's how you certify, and hopefully recertification is as simple as that. Has anybody got any questions about these levels before I move on? Okay, you can just interrupt me if you've got anything you need to ask. Okay, so again, we're looking at the fundamentals exam. You don't have to do it first, but we sort of, you know, it's like it makes sense to do it first because it's the overview of the entire DAMA wheel DMBOK knowledge areas. The data management fundamentals exam is 100 questions. In fact, all of the exams are 100 questions, and you have 90 minutes if English is your mother tongue. If English is a second language for you, they've got an option that allows you an extra 20 minutes. So all of you who English is not the first language, even if Afrikaans is your mother tongue and your English is excellent, you're entitled to have that extra 20 minutes. And so then that gives you 110 minutes for 100 questions. The questions are set out like this. They've got the exam hosting platform has an algorithm that generates an exam from a set of a pool of about 500 questions. So everybody's exam should be different, but it does generate the exam on this basis with all of these chapters. These are the chapters included in the Data Management Fundamentals exam. There's 17 chapters in the DMBOK, 15, 16, and 17 are not included in the Data Management Fundamentals exam. And so it generates 2 questions for chapter 1, 2 questions for chapter 2, 11 questions for data governance chapter 3, and so on. And it keeps those questions within knowledge areas as well. So it doesn't jump around. So we'll be having our 6 data architecture questions, and then we'll move on to something else. I don't think it goes in this order. I can't remember the order it went in, but it definitely was in knowledge area chunks. The other thing it does is the pool of exam questions it's also weighted. We've got 50% of the questions are straightforward. They're the kind of questions, it's a question and then it's 5 choices for the multiple choice. It's you only have to choose one, which is quite nice. You don't have, you know, multiple answers. And the easy ones, the easy ones, there's obviously a right answer, and those other 4 are obviously wrong. They're distractors. And then the next 25% of the questions are a bit more challenging, that the answers look right. They're all kind of right, except you've got to figure out which is the most right, or at least 3 of them are right, and you've got to figure out which is the most right. And then there's the last very challenging questions, are those kind of questions where you apply your knowledge. It's just so to distinguish the masters between from the rest of the candidates. And so, for example, if we've got data modeling, maybe we get 6 easy questions, or 5 easy questions, 3 of those that are with alternative answers, and you've got to find the most right, and 3 that require application of knowledge. That's how it works. But all 11 will be asked together. And once you've passed this exam, say you pass the exam with 85%, you get awarded badges. I'm going to show you my badger just now when we look at the exam platform. They've got a system called Badger, BADGR, that issues badges. Badges have metadata behind them so that they can actually be verified online. So you can share your badge on LinkedIn, and then people can verify that indeed is a valid badge. So if you do your fundamentals exam and you get 85%, it will award you the Cdmp associate full qualification because you've met all the requirements for that. And then it will award you a data management fundamentals practitioner pass badge. That's my full practitioner, but it says data management fundamentals on top, practitioner, and it will award you a data management fundamentals master. So obviously that's the one you're going to share on LinkedIn. But once you've met all the requirements for whatever it is, so I did this 2 years ago. I did all the practitioner. I passed in the 70s all 3 exams. So they gave me a practitioner badge and they gave me a practitioner certificate. And so I'm not sure about whether you still get the certificates. I hope you still do, but you definitely get the badges. Okay, so you can see all the weightings here. And you can see which chapters you have to put more effort into. The specialist exams are, this is all that's available at the moment. Howard's busy leading the data architecture team, so I just have to hurry up and get the data architecture exam completed. They're still busy setting questions for data architecture. Apparently there's a big data and data science one being worked on at the moment as well. So that's what you can do: data governance, data quality, data modeling, metadata, data integration and interoperability, data warehousing and BI, and reference and master data. Pick 2, and you have to get over 70% in both of them. I've done governance, quality, and modeling. I want to redo quality and modeling so that I can get my master pass. So that's I've been putting it off, and I need to stop putting it off. What else can I tell you about this? Also 100 questions. Also an English as a second language option. So you can get the extra 20 minutes. And they're all based on the DMBOK version 2. But with these ones, you need to, if you're a specialist in that area, you will have done extra reading. So like data modeling, we definitely have read Steve Hoberman's books. And maybe, was it Len Silverstone, those thought leaders. Data quality, Duran. And data quality asks you questions on statistics. So if you're going to attempt data quality, you need to brush up on stats 1. You know what we learned or stats 1A, basically, the first half of university stats, the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, and probability, and range. I think that was all of it. So basics. Governance is on 6 chapters, and all those other little bits in the other chapters. And yeah, I managed to do governance with just my DMBOK. I actually did it in an exam event. I hadn't intended to do it, and with just my DMBOK, I managed to pass. But I probably couldn't apply any of the knowledge from that. We've got some specialist courses. If anyone is interested, Howard's developed a brilliant data governance course. DAMA Southern Africa endorses Info Blueprints data quality course. It's specifically designed to help you pass the data quality exam. And we offer Steve Hoberman's data modeling masterclass. It's a wonderful course as well. If you've never modeled before, you'll be modeling perfectly at the end. And then data architecture, but there's no exam for that yet. Howard's developed a data architecture course. So those kind of courses are not just to help you pass the exams, except for data quality. They give you the how part that the DMBOK doesn't have. So if you're interested in learning how as well as passing exams, we can help you there too. Okay, so we've got, for the specialist exams, we asked Steve Hoberman for some extra reading, since he's the publisher of most of the books. And we're maintaining a spreadsheet of all of this recommended reading, so we can give you a link to that. And when you've given us your emails, we'll send you the link for the Google Drive extra reading. Anything that you get from Technics Pub, which is Steve's publishing house, you can give our company name, Modelware, as the code, and you get a 20% discount. So that helps a bit. Recertification, it's a bit unclear. They're supposed to be giving us details, but we'll have to update everybody on that. That's what we think is probably required, is that 30 hours of professional attendance, professional development. Okay, that's the objectives for my course of taking you through the DMBOK. It's to try and actually get you through the entire DMBOK so that you can approach the exam with a bit more confidence. And you know, this is the context diagram in the DMBOK for each of the knowledge areas. So we look at the definitions. Definitions are good exam questions, and goals are great exam questions. So that's important that you know where these are. With this exam, it's open book. You don't have to memorize things, but you do need to know what's what and where it is. So looking stuff up is important. So a context diagram gives you a lot of information, gives you definitions, and it gives you goals. Business drivers are in the notes, and then our inputs, our activities, and our deliverables. Unfortunately, they don't link input one with sub-activity one with deliverable one. Hopefully that's going to come at some point. Howard has actually got a spreadsheet that does that for his data governance course. But this, a lot of information is here on the context diagram. It comes from the wheel, and all the activities are put together. And then when we do the course, I try to group these knowledge areas that fit together, but also seriously heavy ones first and lighter ones at the end, because once you get to day 4 at 2 o'clock and day 4, you can't think anymore. Architecture, this is a killer for anybody who's business focused and not technical. It's one of those things that scares people for the exam, so we really try to do that clearly in great detail, explaining modeling and design and metadata. And then there's we do these moving of data stuff and sharing of data stuff together, analytics. And I've still got access to my practice test. When you get your practice test, it never expires. You can do it as many times as you like. I'm going to show you it right now, the practice test, and we do it together in the course. And then we've got our how-to courses, which I told you about, and other stuff which we don't need to know yet. This is our data management learning pathway, getting you to the top of your career analogy. And basically, this is what we're doing now, is we're trying to get everybody to certify. The first way, you land at that little airport where the runway goes off the mountain, and you get your acclimatization and your skills by studying for the data management for certification. You get the overview and all the knowledge and how things fit together, and you join all your dots, and you get DAMA literate. Write the core exam, get over 70%, and then you're ready to ascend the mountain. And remember, when people go up Mount Everest, they train and they acclimatize and they go up and down and they practice and they get all sorts of skills, which is why we've decided that offer people these specialist courses, and then they write their 2 exams. And halfway up the mountain, we would consider you to be a certified practitioner or master. And then those people that want to go up further, their journey is a little different for each one. Now, if you're a specialist, maybe you just want to stay here. This is Steve Hoberman's data modeling certification, which you have to get 90% for. So this is a journey for a thought leader who wants to present at international conferences. Steve gave us this idea because he said if we get people prepared with interesting case studies about how we solve problems using modeling in South Africa, he will give us places to speak at his conference. That got us the idea of developing the mountain and getting people to prepare case studies. And these case studies that international people find interesting are real business case studies about how we solve problems here. So preparing that case study is actually going to help your business too. And I think that was it for my presentation. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to show you the, hold on, let me show you how you first enroll in the exam. You have to go to cdmp.info. That's the DAMA International Exam Platform. It's actually hosted in Australia by Robinson Ryan on a learning management system. And we have got the most brilliant support people there. So anything that we need to, any problem, any mistake people make in enrolling, it can be fixed basically overnight. So you're going to do your exam, you click book an exam. We don't have events at the moment for COVID, because it was really nice. We could have exam events where a whole lot of people took the exam together. And what's nice about that is, you have to write the exam on that day, so you prepare and you get there. Whereas now, because everybody writes online, it's easy enough to procrastinate and put it off. We can purchase things, exams in bulk for businesses, because DAMA International only accepts credit card payments. So if your company is paying for you and that's not a possibility, we can get you a prepaid coupon. So everybody does the same thing, whether you have your credit card in your hand or you've got a prepaid coupon. All the exams are open book, and they've got this integrated proctoring, so you have to use Google Chrome. That's important. The first exam is Data Management Fundamentals. So we click on Enroll in the exam. It's $300 for the exam, $11 for the online proctoring service on a lock. So if you click on enrollment instructions, and they've done some really good instructions. Because it's a learning management platform, and now they've integrated payments of the honor lock and the exam itself. It's a little bit more complicated than it used to be, but the instructions are good. So the exam is hosted on this thing called Canvas, and Badger is what shows you your badges. When you enroll, you're going to get 2 emails. One is confirming your enrollment, and one is giving your Canvas registration. So that's going to give you the log on to Canvas. And it's better if you use a personal email rather than your company email, because this is your own. Your certification is yours. Even if your company has sponsored it, it's always yours. So if you're going to be changing companies, it's easier to have used your Gmail or something like that. So the only problems we've had is company emails. You can't open your company laptops. Maybe you can't open your Gmail. So once again, you've got to work out how you work around this. But it's possible to change your registration details. Everything is possible. It just, do you want that schlep or not? So when we enroll, this first part here is how you enroll. And it's going to ask for your email details, which is where you're going to be putting in. I don't know whether it's going to let me do that, because I've done this so many times. But I think this is just where you put in your email, your full name and email, and that's the email that they're going to email you on. So that's enrolling, and then you get your 2 emails, and there's instructions on both of them, which you have to follow to the letter. And the canvas I'm going to show you just now, where where the exams are hosted. There's practice exams and your badges. So once you get your log on to Canvas, that's cdmp.instructure.com, you'll log in, and your exam will be, there'll be a tile there for you. You click on the tile, and then it asks you to access your exam. Now remember, if you're doing the English as a second language, you click on that one. You can test your honor lock here. It just runs the honor lock. It asks you to take a picture of your face. It asks you to take a picture of your ID, and then it asks you to scan your room. And so you can see that your computer and your system is all honor lock working. If not, your IT people might have to help you get the Chrome extension in. So once you clicked on that exam, there's the pay here bit. So you click on pay here, and it takes you to the payment cart. If you've got a coupon, so payment standard next. If you've got a coupon, you have to enter your coupon. Otherwise, you enter your credit card and process the payment like that. And then once you've paid, you've got the practice exam and the main exam when you're ready. So let me just show you mine. Log in. Okay, so now I've registered for quite a lot of exams. So that was my fundamentals. It was done a long time ago. It's archived. There's my governance, my old modeling, and here's my new modeling. So I'm going to show you on the new modeling. You see there, I would access the exam and paid already, access the practice exam. And this is the practice exam, which we've been doing. I do it with my class as well. So the class yesterday got 38 out of 40. Now it's 40 questions in 36 minutes. So the timing to do this is the same as the timing to do 100 questions in 90 minutes. So it's really good to see how fast you have to go. And what we suggest is, I'm going to show you the exam quickly. We suggest the first pass, you go through the exam on what you know. And it's got a really nice little thing here. It's got a little flag. So if you want to jump back to something, say, I'm not sure about this, the governance touch points. I can't remember what the governance touch points were. So it's not got no negative marking. I think it might be the data governance office, but I'm going to come back and check. You flag it, you guess it, you move on quickly through it. Sometimes there's a lot of reading, and you think, well, English isn't my first language, and it takes me a long time to read, so I'm going to come back to it. You click on it, you guess, and you move on. Primary responsibilities of data steward. It's a business role. I know this one. I don't have to come back. Who should typically chair this? Definitely the CDO. I don't have to come back. So you move quickly through. Can you see they're all data governance questions? I think everyone is responsible for communicating and promoting awareness. And now we're moving on. We're getting some questions that are controlled vocabulary, documents, and content management. I know that's a taxonomy, so I move on. And document management. So you can see how they've grouped together, and the way that it's worded, it's not there to try and here's data protection. So now we're onto security. It's not there to trick you. How it's brief for setting exam questions is that they have to try and avoid those double negatives, like what is not true, and then the answer has got a negative in it, because those aren't testing your knowledge. Those are testing how you read English and whatever. So right at the bottom, or on the right-hand side of your screen, my laptop is tiny, so that's why I've got this. It tells you your minutes, and it also tells you what questions you've answered, what you haven't answered. So your first pass through, you're going to answer everything, even if you don't know. If you don't know, you're going to guess, and you're going to flag it, and then it's easy to jump back. And this is when you open up your DMBOK and you check you check up. Don't do it on the first pass. I've seen people run out of time. Rather, if you guess, you've got you've got a 20% chance of being right with a guess. So that's how one should do this. The practice test gives you the answers, and you can do it as many times as you like. The main exam's not going to give you the answers, but as soon as you've finished, you get your score. So let me show you the badger before we move on. There's my dashboard. Maybe it's my courses. My courses? No, maybe it's my accounts. Here, my badges. This is badger. It's going to move on to badger to show you where your badger sits. Okay, thanks, Paul. So this is the data management fundamentals. Remember I told you, if you pass with over 80%, they will award you the full Cdmp associate. And then they give you the practitioner pass because you've met the requirements, and the master pass because you've met the requirements. And so on. So each one of these gives us badges. My modeling, I didn't get 80%, so I got the practitioner level. And that's badger. Anybody got any questions? Anything else you need to see? You're good.
Hi, Veronica. That's Jane.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi, Jane.
I just wanted to find out. You said the entry level one has got 3 years. Do the practitioner and the master also has 3 years?
Also
You have
three. Also have 3 years.
Oh,
You don't have. There's no time limit in when you have to finish your 3 exams. But I suspect because they've put that DEMA international membership in the exam fee, I suspect that your certification is going to last as long as 3 years after the 3rd exam, because they haven't given us a time limit. They actually haven't given us a clear indication of how they're planning to do this. In the past, you used to have 1 year to achieve the certification, and then you had you had 3 years after that last exam your certification lasted. So I suspect it's 3 years after the 3rd exam. And if you've done the practitioner and the master, you never have to write the exams again. It's only if you've only got 60% on the associate, then they make you write the exams again after 3 years. So guys, if you're happy to help us with our research, what this little code was, we're doing research on the Gregorich's thinking styles. If anyone's heard of that, the Gregorich's thinking styles are grouping people. It's the way people input information, the way people collect information. It's either concrete or abstract. Concrete is the 5 senses. You're a black and white person. It's fact or it's not. Abstract is collecting information via your senses, but also feeling, ideas. The more abstract way that information comes into abstract people. And then the other part of that is, how do you order the information once you have it? Sequential, people dominant in sequential have to order it in a sequential way, and people who are abstracts can get chunks of information and connect the dots very easily. Those people are able to multitask very well. So we've got this hypothesis about the way the thinking styles can link to these different types of areas, and we're just trying to confirm it. We think people who are strategic in thinking, the thought leaders and the executives, we suspect that they're going to be more random in their organization, and we suspect that these specialists are going to be more sequential. So we're just trying to collect a lot of data to try and work this out, because then we can help people better. The thinking style that you're most comfortable in is going to be obviously what your job is going to be easier for you. And we've got a whole lot of other research. It's a long process. And at some point, I eventually think I might like to do a master's in this kind of thing. But that little code there is the link to the Google Doc where it is. So if you don't mind, if you leave me your email, I'll give you feedback as well, and you can see what thinking styles you are. It's got nothing to do with intelligence, and it's just how you are, how you organize your data and your information, and how you receive information. I think I might be able to drop something on the chat box as well. It's probably easier this way. Send, and I can copy a link. Copy. Let me just put that on the chat box. So if you are happy to do that, I'll be very grateful. That's my little form there. Otherwise, any questions? I know it's gone after 10 already. I tend to talk a lot.
Veronica, I have a question.
Yes.
Just from your own personal experience, right? How long did it take for you to prepare for this exam? Based on your...
I summarize the DM box, I suppose. Actually, I wrote, the first time I wrote it, I wrote it when it first became available, and I hadn't completed all my summaries. And I was surprised. I got 76% the first time I did it, after not having completely gone through the DM box. So it's not as daunting as people think. It's the technique of running through it without looking stuff up first time, and also knowing how to read the questions. Remember, you just need to know where to look stuff up. The other thing I did with my hard copy DM box was I put little tags on each chapter so I can easily jump to them. So it depends. How good are you at doing multiple choice exams? I think I'm quite good at guessing. If I don't know, it's trying to eliminate. You can always eliminate two of those things. Two of them are obviously wrong, and then trying to work that out. That's also part of the exam technique. But from when I started, I guess I prepared for about 2 or 3 months on and off, and then I did it.
All right, thank you.
Paul's running that study group, and I actually think the study group they've gone way deeper than is necessary for the exam, but they've enjoyed it. They've actually all learned together, and they've asked questions, and they've done research, and they've dug into things. So I like that, because that's education. Just doing enough to pass an exam is not education, but that's what certification is, I suppose. Stop sharing and get my camera into the front. But you do need your own copy of the DM box. You have to have it. Anyone else? Oh, I'll stop the recording once we finished. Hi John, I didn't notice you join, and Usha. We will definitely share the presentation deck if you drop your emails on, and Debbie will send you the deck, and Debbie will send you all the links, and then you can join the African Data Management Community Group and the DAMA SA Community Group, and get all the webinars and the news and everything else. And it's a great pleasure. And get hold of me if you've got any other questions. Just drop me a mail, veronica@modelwaresystems.com. or even education@dama.org.za. I'll put my mails here. And check out our websites. There's modelwaresystems.com and dama.org.za as well. Things should be posted on there. And we've got videos. We're posting videos. I think there's link to all the webinars are recorded. And so you can get access to all the webinars through our website, I believe. If not, we will be able to send you a link to whatever webinar you want. Oh, sorry, I missed out a W on DAMA. International's dama.org and we're dama.org.za. Okay, cool. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you. Have a
Thanks
great
so
weekend.
much. You too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, pleasure.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hi, Veronica.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Hi,
please. Sorry.
John.
Hi, because I was in a meeting during your presentation. Sorry, but I just have one question.
Sure.
I'm very interested to pass a certificate exam. So can you send me by email the information to pass the?
Yes, of course. We can send you the recording and we can send you the deck. Just leave me your email in the chat box and we'll get that to you. But yes, I can answer any specific questions now. Where are you, John? You sound like your home language is French.
Yes, I'm French. Yes. I'm French.
Where are you based?
I'm placed in close to Paris.
Oh wow! Okay, well that's awesome. That's fantastic. Haven't had anybody from France yet. We've had people from Italy and Greece and Middle East. I'm in Johannesburg, by the way, South Africa.
Ah, okay, good, very good.
So yeah, that's the thing with this community, especially now that we can all just connect. It's wonderful. I had someone on earlier from Bangalore. Yeah, so I have time now. I can actually go through a little bit of the presentation with you if you'd like me to. I just don't know how to stop this recording because I didn't start it. Can I stop this recording?
I think it may be Paul.
It's Paul. I'll have to get. This is John in Paris. Come meet Howard. He's our DAMA president, and he's actually
John,
my business partner and my husband. Oh, sorry. Let me just take walk and talk out now. You can hear John. John wants to certify, and he's just outside Paris.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yes,
John,
I'm going
are you aware that there is a DAMA in Paris?
Hi.
What's happening?
No, it might be the. Sorry, John. I think our internet is a bit weak.
What did you say?
The recording.
But I will send you my email.
Maybe it's my. Look at that. That's me. I'm muted. Sorry, John. Sorry, John. I was muted there.
Okay. I just sent you that I will send you my email. We will communicate by my dial.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Perfect. There's a demo in France.
There's a demo in France, yeah. Yeah, I can send you the connection details as well. There's a strong bunch of guys in Dama that also happy to help you with your certification as well.
Yes, so
Ah,
we'll
okay.
send
Okay, okay.
you send on the recording and the slide deck as well.
Okay.
What data management role are you in, John?
I'm specialized in data governance. I'm currently consultant on data governance mission, and I would like to pass a certification.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And you know that there's an English as a second language version of the exam. So it gives you an extra 20 minutes because English is not your first language. So it's 100 questions in 110 minutes for the English as a second language version.
Okay.
But when you see the recording, you'll see I've shown them in the recording.
Okay. Okay. But
Have you got
I'm good.
whiz through it again if you've got time.
Thanks, John. Good to meet you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Have you got time? And I can just show you the slide. I'll show you the slide of the exam. Let me just move my thing across and share again. This slide here. On the slide. I'm putting my walk and talk back in. Okay. This is the kind of different levels of certification, but they're not really levels. It's not a progression. It all depends on what you get for the Data Management Fundamentals exam. That's the core exam. It's the one that covers the entire DMBOK except for the last 3 chapters. And to be a practitioner or master, you need to get over 70%. The Cdmp associate it's designed for people who are maybe very new or people who are not necessarily data management professionals, but shows that they're literate in the DAMA way. So we're aiming for this, where you have to do 2 extra exams. Oh, I forgot to tell the people that we can't do any substitutions anymore, but so you actually have to write 3 exams. The master, you have to prove that you have 10 years of experience as well as getting 80% in all 3 exams. Each exam is $311. And this is the core exam. It's based on these chapters in the DMBOK up to 14. There's 15, 16, and 17. You will do when you do your data governance exam, because you're going to do the data governance exam, definitely. So the first exam you do is the fundamentals, and the exam platform, it's got a pool of 500 questions or so, and it draws out the questions in each chapter. It will draw out 2 for data management chapter 1. It'll draw 11 questions for data governance, and so on. And it also it offers you the questions in a group. So writing the exam it never paraphrases. It's not trying to test your English, and it's not trying to test your comprehension of that. It's trying to test your data management knowledge, which is really nice, because then they don't mix the words up. So if you're going to try and use your seek function on a PDF, you put in the words and it will find it, because the definitions and the words are written exactly as they are in the DMBOK. Any list that they give you, so this is types of metadata, they'll write it exactly as it is in the DMBOK, so you can easily find it. It's an open book exam, so you're allowed to have a hard copy, any notes you want, and you're also allowed to have your PDF on another device. And you're not allowed to have a screen. You're not allowed to navigate away from your exam screen. So, and it gives you these in the chunks. It also weights them. So half the questions are really easy, And then the next half are more challenging. They might be those kind of questions, you know, when everything is right, but you've got to choose which is the most right. And then there's some that require application of knowledge. So half of them easy, 25% are a bit more difficult, and the last 25% are the ones that are supposed to distinguish masters. And yeah, that's that exam. The specialist exams, this is what's available at the moment. So you've got to pick two. Now there's no time limit for you to finish doing all your exams. Although, you know, we say that once you've decided to certify, you might as well go and certify and get done. But it used to be a whole year to do all three, but now there's no limit at all. You'd probably do data governance and what data quality or metadata, one of those. And most people who do data governance do.
And sorry, you said that there is no limit. So
No, there's
when
no.
I start the certification, I'm allowed to finish this certification after 1 week, for example, or one month. No, there is no limit.
There's no limit at all. So even if you take a couple of years, although that's, you know, it doesn't make sense. But you take it as you're comfortable. Because obviously we want you to get master, you know, we want you to get over 80. So take it as you're comfortable. These specialist exams they require the extra reading. We've got a list which is on the start of no, we'll send you the list of extra reading that we asked Steve Hoberman to provide us with. So for data governance, John Lagley's book, for example, you know, just do a bit of extra reading on those things as well. You don't have to read everything that's on the DAMA website, but just so that you're familiar with those thought leaders that work the DAMA way. You know, each of the chapters in the DMBOK was overseen by a thought leader. So if you know, like doing data modeling, obviously you would want to read Steve Hoberman's books. Data quality, I just read a bit of Duran. I didn't read any of the others, but I managed to pass data quality. And data governance I've done as well. So a bit of extra reading and definitely those chapters in the DMBOK. And for data governance, it's extra chapters. You've got to do chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. And you've got to do chapter 15, 16, and 17. That's the data management maturity assessment, the data management roles and expectations, roles and organization, and the change management, organizational change management. Those are included in the data governance exam. And also data governance has a role within each of the other knowledge areas. So that's included in the exam as well. But I managed to do the data governance exam with just my DMBOK. We do offer extra training. Howard's done this incredible data governance course, which has got templates and Power BI on how to do your strategy and how to do all of those things that you have to do. That gives you the how-to, because remember the DMBOK is very theoretical. It just tells you what to do. It's like a checklist. These activities, these inputs, these deliverables, these people do it, and it doesn't tell you how you actually do it. So it's fine for passing the exam, but if you're going to be doing your job better, sometimes you need to go through a course of telling you how the best ways, the best practices, the DAMA way are doing it. And for this one, the data modeling and design, we've been offering Steve Hoberman's course. He's allowing us to give it only to Africans though. And that teaches you how to model. You can pass the exam without it, but just doing it, it just makes so much more sense to do that extra training if you can and if you want to. Data quality, DAMA SA endorses a data quality course that's given by a South African company, but the lady who actually presents the course has retired and she's now living in Edinburgh in Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Very good.
that's available. You can, yes, you get this lovely Scottish accent giving us the course. So I've done that one to help pass the data quality exam. Dama SA endorses it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right, we will send you the
Thank you.
recording and we'll send you the slide deck and we'll send you the list of recommended reading as well. And it was absolutely
Okay.
stunning to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.